This is the Transforming Anxiety Podcast with Kelly Hanlon McCormick, and today is episode number 182, MVP, Worry is Not Love. Welcome to Transforming Anxiety. I'm your host, Kelly McCormick. I'm a mom to 2 boys, a wife, friend, daughter, and sister, and I'm a certified life coach, yoga teacher, and soon-to-be mindfulness meditation teacher. I'm no stranger to anxiety, and I'm here to teach you how to manage your mind and your emotions so that you too can transform anxiety into calm, peace, and whatever you want for your life. I'm so glad you're here. Hey there. Welcome on in. Today, it's our last MVP podcast, last day of August. Finally, right? So ready for fall. And I'm so ready to share some new podcast episodes with you. I have been brainstorming and writing and outlining so much over the past few weeks. Just ready for all that's coming and happening. And it's so good to be here with you. I am done traveling. This month has been such a wild whirlwind of so much stuff. It's like I am a different person today than I was on August 1st. I tell you what, family vacation, quick trip with friends to see a concert. Then last week, I was in Florida for a business conference with 150 other women, all female entrepreneurs. It was such an inspiring and motivating and totally educational experience. And folks, we are just getting started around here. I know we're almost 200 episodes into the podcast, but I'm telling you, I'm on a mission to help as many people as I possibly can to get out of anxiety. And we are just getting started. I'm super excited. So, okay, this past Monday, a couple days ago, I released the 4th Mindful Monday podcast. I'm doing that short and sweet little mini series here on the podcast feed with just these little bite-sized episodes that are designed to introduce you to some mindfulness and meditative concepts. And this coming Monday, September 5th, which is Labor Day here in the States, I'm going to be opening the doors for my 6-week meditation course, which is called How to Meditate to Transform Anxiety. So we did this last fall. It was great. And I'm so excited to bring this one back, to be teaching you about meditation, to be meditating with you, and most importantly, helping all of us to transform anxiety through mindfulness and meditation. Now, I know you've heard about meditation to help with anxiety because you can't not, right? And my guess is you've probably tried it somewhere along the way because why not, right? It just seems like one of the easiest and cheapest things to do to fix this whole anxiety problem. And has it not worked? Because if not, I just want to say I hear you. I tried to meditate for years, and I mean like over 10 years, like for a long time, and it never stuck. It never felt like it quote unquote worked, and I always felt confused about what the heck I was doing, how I was supposed to be thinking and feeling. The whole thing just felt very not good. Okay. And I want to tell you here and now, before I talk any more about this course next week, that I designed this 6-week course because I went through all of that, because I had heard it would work and I had tried it and it hadn't worked. So we're going to go through it all. We're going to debunk some myths. We're going to talk about how this pertains to anxiety. And here's what else. It's going to be fun. We're not going to be all formal and official about things, okay? We're going to do this naturally. We're going to do this irreverently. It's going to be fun. So, because here's the thing. I know you won't do it if you don't enjoy it, right? I know that's true too. So we're going to talk about what doesn't work with meditation, and we're going to have fun learning about meditation, right? All while we're being mindful and actually practicing. It's going to be great. So, anyway, more info on that is going to be coming Monday in the podcast feed. Short and sweet little intro and invite to the course here. Also in your inbox. So be sure you're subscribed both to the podcast, wherever you're listening, whatever platform you listen through, and make sure you're subscribed to my email list. You can find that at kellyhanlonmccormick.com. That way you don't miss anything. All right. Geez, let's finally get to it, right? Stop talking, Kelly. This, like I said, it's the last MVP episode of the summer, the last little rerun, so to speak. And like I've said before, maybe you've already heard this one. That's okay. Be willing to hear it again. Be willing to hear it differently. Just see how it lands for you today, right? Maybe versus what you maybe heard, what you maybe took away the last go around. All right? We're talking today about worry, specifically how worry is not love, because we like to confuse the two. If I love someone or something, that means I must worry about it. But I don't think that's true. So here we go. Let's get to it. Worry is not love. Hey there. Welcome on in. How are you? It's been a wild couple of weeks over here. So you may have heard me mention, maybe you've read in an email that you got from me, that I recently opened the doors on the Transforming Anxiety Collective. It's my small group coaching program. I absolutely love this program. And the women enrolling for this round of the collective are amazing. I'm telling you, it's the coolest thing to connect such different women from across the country in a small group where we agree to commit to ourselves, to go deep, and to do the hard work of transformation in community with one another. It's just one of the most beautiful experiences. I'm so excited about this next round. And at the time of this recording, we have 2 spots left. But I'm not sure when you hear this where we'll be. I will open the doors again later this year for the next round of the collective. So if you're interested and either didn't apply this round or you didn't hear about it and didn't know to apply, don't worry, I'm coming for you. So anyway, I opened the doors for the collective, and then we had easily the biggest tech issue that my business has ever seen. My email went down. So for a few days there, my email was just busted and I couldn't send or receive, and I felt completely cut off from my clients. I felt completely cut off from those who were interested in joining the collective, who were trying to find out more information about it. It was nuts. So anyway, we got that fixed. Thank you to Ricardo over at Google Workspace for the great customer support, by the way. And then it seemed like a handful of the platforms that I currently use and have been using all went through upgrades. Kajabi, ConvertKit, my podcast app, like the one I use to listen to podcasts on my phone, my Apple Watch. It's like they all updated at the same time. And I felt like I didn't know how to use any of my tech. Just a weirdly mind-boggling week. Some weeks are kind of like that, aren't they? So anyway, it was one of those great lessons in the wonderful meditation teaching. I've heard this numerous times from numerous different places about how if you don't have time to meditate for 20 minutes a day, that's okay. Just meditate for an hour a day. I could have easily run around like crazy, yelling at myself in my mind about how I had no time, right? Because there was no email. We were in the middle of a launch. But I have to tell you, last week I was wildly, in a place where I found my center just relatively quickly. And I did meditate a lot. It didn't create more time. It didn't fix the tech issues. But I was able to return to some stillness more readily. I'm not going to lie. Last week, or a week and a half ago, whenever that was, it still cost me a sleepless night, a couple tummy aches, all that good stuff. But all in all, it's a vastly different place from where I used to live, where anxiety and stress would have just turned that week totally inside out. It would have been panic city until we had everything resolved and completely under control. So just a little behind the scenes for you there. I definitely still feel anxious. The goal around here has never been to eradicate anxiety from our lives. I never have, and I never will suggest that I can do that we can do that as humans. But that last week was a solid reminder to me that I am still and continue to live this work. That I can get through what would have been a relatively stressful week anyway, right? Because of a launch, which then got more stressful. I can get through that with some amount of ease, with some amount of self-compassion, of kindness for myself and for email and for technology. It doesn't make things perfect or completely amazing 100% of the time, but it does make them possible, easeful, even steady. And that's pretty cool. So let's get into today's topic. We're going to talk about worry today because I wanted to remind you, worry is not love. We'll get to that part in a bit. But first, I asked our Facebook group community about worry recently. I asked them what worry looks like for them, what they worry about, if they believe worry ever, quote unquote, works for them. And I got some really great answers, some really thoughtful shares in the Facebook group, which, by the way, if you haven't already, come join us over in the Transforming Anxiety podcast Facebook group. There's a link to it in the show notes for you. We would love to have you with us over there. Okay, but I wanted to read one of these in particular. I got permission to read this to you and share this with you here. This is so specific. It's so authentic. This one came from Jessica. So Jessica said, I worry about everything. Normal stuff like finances, being a good mom, doing well in school, etc. I worry how people view me and if I offended them. I worry about my children and the world they're growing up in. I could go on, but nothing worries me more than the fear of losing someone I love. Never being free of this black cloud or being good enough. Does it help? Absolutely not. It's like a compulsion. I feel as if I do worry, then somehow the outcome will be better, or that by doing so, I will actively be doing something, when in reality, it just sucks the joy out of everything and eventually affects my health. It's never made things better. It's never prepared me for possible outcomes, but it has always been my default. It's an illusion of having some kind of control, when in reality, all I can do is put in the effort and let what happens, happen. Yet knowing that has never allowed me to just stop worrying. So first of all, can you relate? Did Jessica just read your mind and put into words your experience with worry? I'm guessing there are a lot of heads nodding out there in Podcastville because this answer is so real. And I want to thank Jessica for speaking up and for sharing. This is not always easy to do. And I'm really grateful that she put into words what so many people are experiencing and what so many people are feeling on a regular basis. So thank you, Jessica. In all of the comments and questions that I get about worry, there's an underlying sense of doubt, unease, and mistrust. So Jessica mentioned worrying about finances, about being a good mom, about doing well in school. And in all of these, there's a seed of doubt. Doubt that the finances are stable and secure. Doubt in her ability to be a good mom. Doubt about how she's doing and will do in school. When we worry, we practice doubt. We doubt ourselves. We doubt our capacity to show up how we want to provide for ourselves, to take care of our families, and to better our lives. We stay locked in the loop of doubt when we worry about these things. She also mentioned worrying about offending people, worrying about how others view her. I'm staying with this example and everything she said because it's all just so universal. This is exactly where so many of us are at exactly the things that we worry about. What do they think of me? Did I say or do something wrong? Do they like me? Do they approve of me? When we worry about the thoughts other people are thinking, we give all of our power over to the unknown. We make up a story about the story they're telling themselves about us. This is crazy making. We wait to see if we need to feel a certain way, say sorry or upset or embarrassed, until another person comes up to us and says, "Hey, you really offended me." We have basically outsourced our emotional well-being to any and everyone who comes along because we are not checking in with ourselves to see if we believe we've done anything offensive. And hey, just a reminder, you can't offend anyone without their consent anyway. Meaning, if you do or say something, the person you're talking to needs to be of the opinion that what you said or what you did was offensive. So maybe you do or say something that one person finds offensive, but another person finds hilarious or annoying or completely neutral. We all get to make it mean whatever we want. Yeah? Now, this doesn't mean we walk around acting like a jerk. Okay? It means we clean up our own minds, we check in with what we believe to be offensive, and we take action from there. And hey, if we do or say something and we do offend somebody, we check in with our own internal compass, our own definition of right and wrong. And if there's something to apologize for or make amends for, we do it genuinely and compassionately. Make sense? Okay, so what about worrying about how other people view us, what they think of us, whether they talk about us behind our backs, right? All this good stuff. I have good and bad news for you here. The bad news is we can't control it, not even if we worry about it. The good news? The good news is we can't control it. That's just one less thing that we have to do. Now, if anyone has suggested to you that you simply quit worrying, you know exactly how infuriating that is. And I'm not going to do that. Like you haven't already thought of that anyway, right? Here's what I suggest instead of trying to just quit worrying. Practice trusting. When we intentionally, deliberately, purposefully practice trusting, we crowd out some of that worry room. We just don't have as much headspace for it. So you can practice trusting your kids. Practice trusting that they are learning and listening, and trust in how amazing they are. Trust that their future selves will be prepared to handle what comes at them. You can practice trusting your friends and family. Trust them to support you, to love you, and to show up for you. And hey, honestly, if you have a difficult person in your life, trust them to be exactly who they are. Right? There's that saying, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Right? So you can even practice trusting the difficult people in the sense that you can practice trusting them to be exactly who they are. You with me? It beats the hell out of worrying every single time. Now, there are two other things that Jessica brought up that I want to take a moment with here. The first one is that she worries about losing someone she loves. And again, she's not alone. We all do this. We all fall into worry sometimes, or oftentimes, because we love our people so much, and one of our default tendencies is to worry about them, to worry about losing them. But here's a spoiler alert. We will lose people we love. It's 100% guaranteed. That's part of the deal. I know this sounds like bad news, but here's the thing. Not acknowledging that, not recognizing that truth doesn't make it any less true. We will all lose people we love. That's just reality. Now, from there, we can ask ourselves powerful questions like, now what? How do I want to show up knowing that I will absolutely lose some of the people that I love? What do I want to spend my time doing? Who do I want to prioritize and spend my time with? These are wonderful questions to get us into alignment with what we want. We can't argue with the reality of losing people we love, whether that's through relationships ending, people moving away, or the ultimate loss, of course, which is losing them when they die. Arguing with this reality doesn't change anything. We just stay stuck. So with the awareness that we are likely going to lose some of the people in our lives, we ask powerful questions and we show up in our lives accordingly. Yeah? All right, the last one that I wanted to touch on for today, and believe me, we could go on and on about worry, so this is last, but just for today, is worrying about whether you're good enough. It is your birthright that you're good enough. You are always enough. You don't ever have to wonder or worry about it. You don't need to do anything more or learn anything more or change or be different or better or further along or more put together or more figured out than you are right now. There is not one thing you need in order to be enough. You just are enough because you're here, always and forever. It's a given. Things will not always be easy or make sense. Things will not always go well. People will get mad at you and misunderstand you and ignore you. People will also laugh with you and love you and totally get you. It's all going to happen. Nothing has gone wrong because the so-called bad part happens. It was always going to be part good and part bad, part easy and part difficult, part fun and part really not fun. But you never have to do anything or prove anything or change anything. You are always enough just as you are, always and forever. Got it? So let's come back to the title of today's episode. Worry is not love. That's what this all boils down to. Love. I worry about my kids and partner and friends and family because I love them. I worry about my job and finances because I love the feeling of security and safety. I worry about losing the people in my life because I love the people in my life and I don't want to lose them. I worry about what other people think of me because I want other people to like me, which is a form of love. I worry about offending other people because I love them and don't want to offend them. This all always comes down to love. And here's what I want to leave you with today. Worry is not love. What we're going for with all of the things that we worry about is love. We want to love and to feel love. But when we worry, we feel worried. We don't feel love. We act with worry. We don't act with love. Right? Worry and love are not the same thing. You can love people and places and situations and things and not worry about them. You can remind yourself that worry is not love and choose love. You can just love instead. Cut the middleman. Don't worry to prove your love. Love to prove your love. Don't worry because you love. Love because you love. Don't worry about feeling loved and receiving love. Just open up and love, and you'll feel love and be able to receive love. Worry is not a shortcut to love. It has nothing to do with love. Worry gets in the way of love. It blocks love. Worry is not love. Yeah? Now, this is a practice, like pretty much everything around here. This is not one light bulb moment or a one and done quick fix. This is a practice. When you find yourself thinking worried thoughts or feeling worried or acting from a worried place, love instead. What would love do here? Am I telling myself I'm worried because I love them or this or him or her or that so much? Knock it off. Go straight to love. Don't worry to love. Love to love. Okay, folks, worry is not love. That's what I've got for you today. I'd love to hear from you. How does this one land for you? Are you seeing anything differently after thinking through this with me? Do you buy it that worry is not love? Let me know. Come on over. Join us in the Transforming Anxiety Podcast Facebook group. There's a link again in the show notes, and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. All right, next week, I will be back to talk with you about the most powerful question. So I've been coaching for almost 10 years now, and I have continued to learn and to put myself into studentship first and foremost. And I keep returning to this one question over and over in my journey. So we'll talk about that next week, what the most powerful question is and how to use it in your life. Sound good? I will see you at the same time, same place for that. And until then, everyone, take care. Do you have someone to help you with your stress, anxiety, worry, and overwhelm? If not, I would love to be your coach. The Fierce Calm Project is my virtual coaching program where we get to go in on topics like this one, and I can help you apply these lessons to your life so that you're creating your own transformation. We do live coaching calls, guided meditations, on-demand yoga classes. We hold book club where we read books your neighborhood book club won't, and there's lots of bonus content that I've created just for you. When you're ready to take what you're learning on the podcast to a whole other level, then come on over and check out the Fierce Calm Project at kellyhanlonmccormick.com/Fierce Calm Project.